And you got to get a PCR test?
I have to, yeah, I'm scheduled for 2:00 test, along with Donna to test negative and get the bracelet that gets us in tonight.
How many PCR tests have you had?
I've had many.
All right.
Okay, so we ready? All right. First of all, we do want to take just a moment and because we were just discussing our management structure at JAG and convey to all the folks at JAG, Ken and Janelle, but also the folks at the Strategic Partnerships and the Corporate Education Resources, Inc. Just what a tremendous job you all have done in leading this organization and producing superlative results year after year after year. And so we thank you so much for all of that.
What did we say last night? Expectations are now high, right?
Yeah.
So we hear that message too.
And with an eye to the future and the work that we have that's more important than ever, and the growth strategies and so forth, we want to tackle the next item on our agenda, which is the proposed 2023 budget. I know Janelle discussed this a little bit. This is a different type of budget than I know that we've adopted since I've been part of JAG. But one is based on a little more of a pessimistic view of the resources that we're going to have that we would start out with, and then hopefully, if we can recognize additional revenue during the year, we can transition to that stretch budget. But I'm going to ask Ken and Janelle if you have any further comments on that.
Go ahead, Janelle.
I would just highlight that with some of the included in the left side, of course, this is what we need to get our operations done. And this includes the addition of a major annual event. The first one we had was earlier this year, the Career Development Conference. So there's new expenses in terms of national events, but then associated revenue in terms of registration fees, which are quite nominal at $75 per participant in order to incent as many young people to come to this event as possible. But we're seeing a lot of excitement around sponsorship opportunities and engagement opportunities in our College and Career Expo. I will also note that in the affiliation fees, this is our conservative estimates in the lower tier with the $55,000 flat rate that was approved. We have 3 different tiers: conservative, mid, and then if everyone moves forward quickly. But with a 3-year phase-in period, we recognized in the lower tier that this is the conservative estimate. I just wanted to call out those 2 items.
So there's a lot. It's a budget. We don't want to just put this through, but it's been through the executive committee. It's been, the best we can come with it. Like any budget, it's a place you start from. It's an thing you aim at. So, and it may be we don't even raise enough for the tier 1 budget. And if so, by the end of the first quarter, we'll have to make some cuts. So we'll be prepared for that, or choose to dig into the reserves. We'll remind everybody, the average nonprofit in America has only enough cash to last between 60 and 75 days. We're good for a year and a half if we had to. So we are blessed, and it's taken a lot of time to build up these reserves in small amounts of money. So we do have the ability to choose what we do at that time. But I think we certainly recommend for your vote the approval of the 2-tiered budget. Tier 1 is the one the budget will start working on January 1st.
Any further questions? Okay, is there a formal motion to adopt the prepared 2-tier budget for 2023?
So moved.
Ed, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you very much, Mark. Is there any additional questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor of adopting the budget for 2023, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, so JAG's budget for 2023 is adopted. I think we now go to report of the Resource Development Committee. Congressman Byer is doing his job. He's in the Congress, so. Yeah, is there,
Janelle will give a quick.
okay,
So you'll find the full report in your board book, including some of the headwinds that we faced, especially in the latter half of the year. But then also some of the incredible wins that we have, thanks to many around this table, on the screen, and board members who aren't present. And especially big thanks to those individual givers on the board. We couldn't do this without you, so thank you. If you look on the last page of the report, you'll see where we're at. Our goal was 4 million in revenue. And if this Boeing grant comes through, that's a huge swing factor. We do believe that we can get there. We have many pending asks that have been out for a long time that we are hoping to pull through in Q1 of 2023, including a $200,000 request with HCA, this $2 million proposal with Balmer, and also some conversations that we're having with Strata and others. So Nikki Childers, our Director of Corporate Development, has also done a terrific job in securing sponsorships for 2023. So we do anticipate some immediate recognition of revenue come January 1. Oh, go ahead.
I thought it might be beneficial to just to update the board. You'll recall that we set a goal for 60% board support at an individual level for 2022. And when you include the pledges that were made last evening, we're right now at 39%, unless someone turned their pledge card in this morning at breakfast. And so we still have a ways to go. I think that really represents 11 board members. If you haven't turned your pledge in, please do so, so that we can at least attain that 60% level. And then we are proposing for 2023 a 100% participation goal. And just as a board member, and I've sat on a lot of other boards throughout my career, I mean, that's a general expectation. So we're not asking for more than I think what should be expected. So happy to have conversation around that if needed.
The point is not how much, it's the point that everybody's contributing. If it's $5, something, so that it is helpful to Janelle and Nikki and our team to say the people who know us the best invest in us. So please, this is what's comfortable and easy to do, but it is not easy to explain. It's 40% of the board. That's hard to explain. So we would be grateful for your consideration. And it's probably not the people around this table, actually. So there are a number of governors that do, write $100 check, just they're with us. And that's really what we're talking about.
thank you, Janelle. At this time, is there any further discussion on the Resource Development Committee report?
Let me just stress that we're going to try something this year. I know it's in the report, Janelle, but just know 70% of our funding comes from corporations. That's why we're worried. So we've got to find a recurring source of money, and we're going to be looking for what those might be beyond the affiliation fees. Secondly, we're going to try, with Congressman Byers' help, and hopefully some of you, to reach individuals like we did last night in the $5,000, $10,000, $25,000, $50,000 range. We'll see how we do, but that is not a group we have tapped much before. And we're going to try that and see. Now, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And in the end, we will only get funded because of our reliance on corporations in 23, but we want to try to change that and expand diversify it. Hey, Mark.
The only reason why I bring this up is my sister is very involved in the nonprofit world. And from all the Sunday lunch conversations that she and I have over the last several years, there are a lot of foundations. I mean, because you're already connected with them, but there's also some smaller ones that may not be recognized.
Exactly.
That are that have people that are like, I know for a fact there's a couple of, believe it or not, in little bitty West Georgia, there's a couple of actually like celebrity type people for whatever reason have put money into our little West Georgia foundation, and it's just sitting there because they don't know where to send it to. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's a lot of that going on, and according to her, other ones have had that same feedback. So checking in a lot of times and a lot of times, some of you guys that have some attorney type connections, a lot of attorneys that do estate type stuff,
Yep.
they have those connections with those nonprofits right there and say, hey, if you got some clients that are sending money to XYZ, here's some ideas for them to be gifted. Because what happens is, like, for example, this one person I know, they say if he dies and he's never put anything in his thing to where it's going to go, it just rolls into the foundation. So so that's something to think about right there. It's not corporate, but some of that, those people are probably a little bit easier to sell than some of the others.
Especially with the young people that we have in this organization. You bring them into this conversation, and the Resource Development Committee has heard me say this multiple times. We've been digging into this, preparing for this. Corporate giving in America is only 6% of $400 billion in philanthropic giving across the country. So we're really only working with 6% of the pie. And 64% of that 400 billion is individual giving and small individual foundations. So it takes a lot more because it's, a lot of $10,000 grants, then that takes a while to get to 6 million. But if we build that infrastructure and we start working on it, we have to start it. And then the other element is public funding. So we have our first federal grant, competitive federal grant, I should say, from the Department of Labor, 5 million. JAG only receives about $180,000 of that annually. The rest go to our affiliates. But we do have an $11 million proposal that we are working on with the Appalachian Regional Commission. The co-chairwoman talked about it, at least the opportunity. So Jan Ennis, our vice president of affiliate development, has taken a lead working with 9 affiliates on that. And we will propose a larger portion of that go to the national organization to invest in this technology, this technical assistance to support affiliates in their own development and growth. So I think we can keep going the public side because we put so much time and effort in building that infrastructure for compliance through the Department of Labor grant. And then to your point, Mark, we have to go after these smaller private family foundations.
Okay. Can I have a motion to adopt the report of the Resource Development Committee?
So moved.
Thank you very much, Richard. Is there a second? Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Is there any further comment, questions, discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Okay, the report of the Resource Development Committee and its plans for 2023 are adopted. We have one more report. That's of the Scholarship Committee. Larry Caruso, the floor is yours.
And let me announce, and I'm not sure I've actually had the chance, I guess we reported to you, but I talked to Governor Matt Bevin, previous member of this board, previous vice chair of this board, who you recall has offered $25,000 on a matching basis in the past for scholarship support. And he renewed that yesterday morning because he was hoping to come. There's a funeral of a former governor of Kentucky today. That's why he's not here. But he did renew that. And the basic deal is it'll be 50 cents on the dollar from a current board members and 100% match for former board members as a way to help entice some of our former board members as well. So anyway, we got a starting matching grant to start the evening with. Go ahead.
So I'll be quick. I don't want to be the last thing between us and lunch. I want to thank everybody for the contributions that they've made in the past. Last year was the largest number of awards we have given out, both in terms of number of recipients as well as the amount of dollars that we gave out last year. We gave out $42,000 scholarships. We also gave out $10,000 scholarships. The $10,000 scholarships will be spread over 4 years. So this will give us an opportunity to really follow a JAG graduate through their college career, which is something that we've done anecdotally, but we don't have good data on it. So I'm really hopeful that we'll get to see results from that. The group of recipients is in the package. It's a very impressive group. Their average GPA was just about 3.5. They averaged over 4,000 hours of community service. Their career pursuits are all in high professional careers, business, health, education, criminal justice. It's a very, very impressive group. There is a commitment form at the back of the section on the Smith Scholarship Committee. So I would strongly encourage you and hope that you will fill it out. And if you leave it on the table, we'll come back and pick it up later, or just hand it to the people at the main desk. Either way, we will. We need your help. We have the offer from Governor Bevin. We certainly want to take full advantage of that and more, because this is a chance to donate directly to our students. And it's, something that I personally have done every year that this program has been in existence, and I encourage you to participate as well. So that's my report.
Thank you much, Larry. Any questions, concerns, comments, discussion?
Just know we've more than doubled the number of scholarships, and we doubled the amount of the scholarship under Larry's leadership and with the support of all of you. He's the man. He's the man.
Is there a motion to adopt the report of the scholarship committee? Thank you very much. And is there a second? Any further discussion? All in favor of adopting, please say aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Any opposed? Hearing none, that report is hereby adopted, and I too encourage each one of us here to contribute to JAG and to the scholarship that Larry just mentioned. I think that completes our business, and we are going to adjourn here. And I will be doing that as the last time as chair. So I thank you all for giving me the opportunity to serve for the last 3 years as chairman of the National Board of Jobs for America's Graduates. It has been a pleasure for me. And I want to thank Ken and Janelle and their team, because they really have made it very easy for them. So I appreciate y'all so much.
And the best news of all is he's agreed to sign up for a new 3-year term to stay on the board. So
Thank you all.
move to adjournment, but I'll ask you to move promptly across the hall. The students are waiting for you. Remember, they are waiting to sit and talk with you around the luncheon table. So please do move there. Thank you.